Hello students, so welcome to this first video on data interpretation and logical reasoning for CAT. Now my funda through this video is very simple, very clear. I want you all to score some marks in DILR, and when I say some marks, it means clearing the cutoff and maybe scoring high. What I have found over the years of my teaching is that yes, DILR is definitely difficult, but what I have found is that sometimes students do make it complex. My purpose in these videos, in the series of videos, will be to help you score marks. That's it. And my philosophy is simple. For any question, be it DILR, verbal or quant, you should think before you solve. So in DILR, the biggest competitive edge isn't how fast you solve, it is knowing which sets to attempt and also which questions of a particular set to attempt. This session gives you a systematic framework to make a smart decision under pressure. And this is not the only session. I will be coming up with few more sessions in which I will be applying the same framework that I discussed today. So let us start now. Why students struggle in DILR? So most students walk into DILR with wrong goal. They try to complete sets rather than score from them. This single mindset error can cost few 15 to 20 marks every attempt. So this is a wrong instinct. Solve everything. So the students dive into the first set they see, invest some precious minutes before they realize the set is a trap, too complex, too time consuming, too risky. They try to solve everything without choosing, right? Your objective should be to maximize the marks. And of course, at the back of the mind, you know that you have to maximize the marks. But when comes to picking up the set, you create a complete mess out of it. So there is this 120-second rule. Spend 100 to 120 seconds, around couple of minutes, evaluating each set before you decide to commit whether I want to give it 10 to 15 minutes. A disciplined pre-read is the highest ROI habit you can build for DILR set. Personally, what I always suggest is that read for a couple of minutes. If you can think out of four questions, maybe if you think that two are solvable in say 10 to 12 minutes time, go ahead and solve it, right? But as I said, I will be giving you the framework, and this is the SID filter. It's of course it comes from my name, SID filter. So SID is a 4 checkpoint evaluation framework. Run through it in under a minute, maybe more, attempting any set. Each checkpoint tells you some critical thing about set solvability and risk level. So what does this stand for? S stands for structure. So when you read the set, maybe reading will take a minute's time or so. Just think about it. Can you immediately visualize the representation? Now, this is one skill where students lack. They don't know how to represent the data. So can you visualize how to represent the data? Maybe it will come in the table form, the grid form, the arrangement, the network. If the structure is unclear on the first read, then that's the red flag. You can leave that question for maybe later attempt. If you are clear with the structure, you have idea about how you can represent it, look for the information, of course. Is the data manageable? Are there too many entities, too many overlapping conditions, some ambiguous things? You can perhaps think about attempting it later. D stands for deduction, and this is most important for me. If I'm clear with the structure, if the information looks manageable, then this is the most important thing for me to decide whether I will attempt or not. Sometimes I'm clear with the structure, but I'm not able to deduce anything. Then I will hold on. Now, what do I mean by deduce? After reading all the data sets, after reading all the information, can I spot at least one early inference? What do I mean by inference? Something that is not mentioned in the data, but I can say, yeah, that if the data is this, then I can at least draw one conclusion out of it, that or one inference out of it, that that will follow from the from the given data. Now, this is very important. I will showcase you in the coming set. If a deduction surfaces quickly, you have an entry point in the set. In DILR, it is very, very important to have an entry point. If you cannot figure out the entry point, then you will struggle. And deduction helps you to, identify that entry point. And then D stands for difficulty. But what makes a set difficult? It's not the complexity. It is about solving, as I said, getting few marks. Can you get few marks? Can you get one question right in 5 to 6 minutes time? If yes, then please go ahead. Then that's not a difficult set. You do not have to solve entire set. Please remember how much effort is required to solve the first question. Now, the first question doesn't have to be the question number one of the set. It can be any question. That means that you have to read all the questions. And reading questions, when you read questions, sometimes questions give you some information about how to solve. And I will show it to you, right? So if there is high effort, then of course you should come to it later. Right? So the decision rule, out of the four things, structure, information, deduction, and difficulty filter. If out of the four things there are three positives, at least three positives, you should attempt the set in round one. Of course, four positive, so definitely attempt. Right? If there are two positives, you can look to attempt in round two. If less than two, then leave it. You won't be able to solve it. Right? That's what I will suggest that. So out of the four things, maybe 1.5 minutes to read and quickly filter out the structure, information manageable, whether I'm able to deduce anything, how is the difficulty level. For difficulty level, always look at the questions and then decide. And then perhaps if three things click out of the four, please go ahead and solve it in round one. If two click, I will say round two. If one or less than one, of course, I will skip it. You need to remember, good selection beats heroic solving. You need to be good at selection every single time in CAT. If you are good in selections, you will do better than 99% of the people. The students who crack DILR are not the fastest solvers, they are the smartest selectors. And that's what I'm going to help you with, the set selection, right? So this philosophy is something that I think will change a lot of things for you. So don't ask this, can I solve this set? This question puts your ego into the driver's seat. Ask instead, can this set give me marks? This questions put strategy first. It keeps you focused on outcome, your score, rather than process. A set that gives you 4 marks in 8 minutes beats a set you could have solved in 20 minutes. Yeah. So, three things: filter first, select ruthlessly. Skipping a bad set is a scoring decision. It's not a defeat. You are doing smart work. And score consistently. To score consistently, repeat this framework in around 20 sets. You will see the result maybe after start seeing the result maybe after 10 to 12 sets. And by the 20th set, you will be completely, I must say, comfortable with set selection, not being able to solve all DILR, that you are not supposed to do that, but set selection. Now, what I have done is I have picked up a set of CAT 23 slot 2. What I will request you is to just stop the video, give 2 minutes time to yourself, and just see the structure, the information, the deduction, and the difficulty level of this set, and then decide whether to solve it or not. Of course, I will show you how to solve this set today, but I want you to just stop the video for a couple of minutes and do this exercise. All right, so I'm sure that you would have stopped it and read it, solved it. So if not, once again, stop and do it, and only then you proceed to watch my solution. Okay. So what is mentioned here? Three participants, Akhil, Bimal, Chatur, participate in a random draw competition for 5 days. Every day, each participant picks up a ball numbered between 1 and 9. So they pick up one ball. Please note, everybody picks up one ball from 1 to 9. The number on the ball determines the score on that day. The total score of a participant is the sum of the scores attained in the 5 days. The total score of a day is the sum of participants' score on that day. The 2-day average on a day, except on day one, is the average of the total scores of that day and of the previous day. Important, not previous days, only previous day. So, for example, if the total score of day 1 and day 2 are 25 and 20, the 2-day average on day 2 is calculated as 22.5. Table 1 gives me the 2-day averages. All right. So day 2 means 15, means day 1 plus day 2 is equals to 30. If day 2 ka average is 15, that means the 2-day average, day 1 and day 2 ka is 30. That is one inference that I automatically draw. Participants are ranked each day with the person having maximum score being awarded the minimum mark, ranked 1 on that day. If there is a tie, all participants with the tied score awarded the best available rank. For example, if on a day Akhil, Bimal and Chatur scored 877, the ranks will be 1, 2, 2 on that day. These ranks are given in the table 2. So here are these ranks given. So one inference that I have drawn is D1 plus D2 is equals to 30. D2 plus D3 is equals to 31 from this table, because day 3, what is this? This is 2-day average of day 2 through 5. So day 3 is 15.5 means day 2 plus day 3 is 15.5 into 2, but because that's the average score. Now let me look at the other information. Chatur always scores in multiple of 3. His scores on day 2 is a unique highest score in the competition. What is the highest score in the competition? 9. 9 is a multiple of 3. And the statement says that Chatur has scored this. And this is unique, means no one else has scored 9. This is given as unique, highest score in the competition. His minimum score is observed only on day 1. Only on day 1 he has scored minimum. What is the minimum score? Multiple of 3 would be 3. So he has scored 3 only one day. He has scored 9 only one day. That means all other days he would have scored 6. That's one very big inference that I can draw out of this. Right? Yeah. And it says that his minimum score is observed only on day 1 and it matches Akhil's score on day 4. What is Akhil's score on day 4? So this is Akhil has got 3 on day 4. That's what it says. Okay. No, this is not day 4. Day 4 is a day before. So yeah. This is day 4. So Akhil has got 3 here, not here. Right. So I will anyways draw the table. The total score on day 3 is same as total score on day 4. This is excellent point for me. Day 3 is equals to day 4. So I have read all the information. Let me go down. And yeah, these are the questions. Now question will help me to understand the difficulty level also. What is Akhil's score on day 1? What does this question tells me? This question tells me that Akhil would have got a definite score. What is question number 2 telling me? Who attains the maximum total score? There is one cannot be determined, right? So there is a possibility that I may not be able to figure it out. What is the minimum possible score of Bimal? The question language suggests that Bimal could have multiple scores and it asks me minimum possible. Also, question number 4 and 5 says if. That means there are multiple cases. Question number 3, 4, and 5 suggest me that there are more than one cases. Question number 1, Akhil must have definitely got some sure score on day 1. That is what I can infer. So difficulty level, let me see. What is the filter? Let me apply the filter. Yes. Can I immediately visualize the representation? Yes. It's anyways given in the question. I have to draw the table. So this is definitely yes. Information. Is the data manageable? Yes. There are 3 entities and there is scores across 5 days. That is manageable. Yes. Deduction. Can you spot at least one early inference after the first read? Yes, quite a few. In fact, Chatur's score of all 5 days I can get 39666. This is a good entry point. Difficulty, how much effort before the first answer? Low effort will lead to my attempting it. I am not sure. Maybe. So out of 4, I am saying I have got 3 ticks. I should attempt it in the round 1 itself. Maybe I end up wasting 7-8 minutes time, but we will see. After 7-8 minutes time, if I'm not able to do anything, I will leave this question. Now this is the question. Okay. So let me now draw the table. What I will do is this. Now D1 plus D2 is equals to 30. This I've already know. D2 plus D3 is equals to 31. D3 plus D4 is equals to 32. And D4 plus D5 is equals to 34. Just the two. Now it is given here that the total score on day 3 is same as total score on day 4. That means D3 plus D4 is equals to 32. That means D3 is equals to 16 and D4 is equals to 16. If D4 is equals to 16, then D5 is equals to 18. Right? If D3 is 16, then D2 is 15. If D2 is 15, D1 is 15. Wow. So this is a very big inference that I have I have drawn, right? Now let me draw the table for each individual for their marks. This is how my paper will look like. Okay, so this is A, this is B. Okay, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and day 5. Oh, I know Chatur's score for each day, right? Chatur's score was he scored minimum on day one. It seems his score on day two is the unique highest, so that is 9. His minimum score was observed on day one. So this is 6, 6, and 6. Let me also write the total of D1, D2, D3 each day. So D1 he has scored 15, D2 he has scored 15, D3 he has scored 16, D4 the total, not he, the total is 16, and D5 is 18. What are the other things that are given to me? Akhil's score on day 4. Akhil's score on day 4 is 3. And Akhil is in third position. Akhil is in third position. That's what is given. Okay. Right. But what will be the score of Bimal on day 3? Because total is 16. So Bimal would have got 7 marks. That I can now take it out. Bimal's score are same on day 1 and day 3. So Bimal has scored A here and A here, for example, both the things are equal. Okay. And what is mentioned is Bimal's score. I have equated the total score on day 3, same as day 4. What else can I infer? Let me very quickly try to infer the things. So, yeah. So these scores, if I look at day 3, Akhil and Bimal both have scored same. Day 3, Akhil and Bimal both have scored same. Their marks are same. So I can say here also it will be A because they have both got second rank. Now if both are A, total is 16. So A plus B plus 6 is equals to 16. That means A plus B is equals to 10. And A plus B both have scored same marks. That means I can say that he has scored 5 and he has scored 5. Right. So this I can say. If this is 5, then Bimal on day 1 has scored 5. Then what will be Akhil's score on day 1? 7. So question number 1 I have solved. This was your question number 1. What is Akhil's score on day 1? Day 1, Akhil's score is 7. One question solved. Who attains the maximum total score? I know Chatur's total. Chatur's total is 39666. That is 30. I do not know about their score. I do not know about Akhil and Bimal's score right now. Right? But I know that all 5-day combined score is 15, 15, 16, 16, 18. So the 5-day combined score is 80. 80 is equals to this, right? So 5-day combined score is 80. Out of this, Chatur has already scored 30. So A and B would have 50, score of 50 between them. And if I see Chatur has done fairly well, chances are very high that out of all, Chatur would have scored the highest one. Let me see what are the cases that are possible, right? So let me look at day 2 because all other data has been filled. Day 1 I have got data for all. Day 3 I have got data for all. Day 4 I have got data for all. Day 2 and day 5 I have not got the data. Let me see what are the possibilities. So out of 15, Chatur has already scored 9. So between A and B, Akhil and Bimal, they would have scored 6 marks. And Bimal would have scored less because Bimal's rank is 3. So 6 marks means two possibilities. Akhil gets 4, Bimal gets 2. Akhil gets 5, Bimal gets 1. These are the only two possibilities. They cannot get 3, 3. Let me go to day 5. What could have happened there? Out of 18, Chatur has already scored 6. So remaining 12 marks. And here Bimal is 1. Bimal is 1 means Bimal would have scored more than 6. Bimal would have scored more than 6 because Chatur is ranked number 2 on day 5. Bimal is ranked number 1 on day 5. So Bimal would have scored more than 6 but less than 9 because it is given that 9 is only scored once. So he would have either scored 7 or 8. Right? If Bimal has scored 7, then 7 plus 6, 13. Akhil would have scored either 5 or the other option is Akhil would have scored either 4. Now let me look at Akhil's total. any which way. So I know that Akhil on day 1, day 3, day 4. I'm sure about Akhil's score on day 1, day 3, and day 4. What are these scores? 7 plus 5 plus 3 is 15. Akhil has scored 15 on 3 days. And maximum that Akhil would have scored is if he has scored 25. So Akhil anyways wouldn't have got more than Chatur. Similarly, if I look at Bimal has got maximum score of day 1 5, I know. Day 2, if he has scored maximum marks of 2, that is 7. Day 3 is 5, that is now total is 12. And total is 12. Day 4 is 7. So 19 plus 8, even if he has scored maximum day 5, even that is not more than 30. So question number 2 also solved. Question number 2, Chatur. And my intuition said it was Chatur, right? Because out of 80 marks, 30 was anyways given to Chatur. So Chatur is the one who has scored the highest marks. Now look at this. What is the minimum possible score for Bimal? I can definitely from my table say what is minimum possible for Bimal. But I mean, I know that D1, D3 and D4 are fixed for Bimal. I know that on day 1 he has scored 5. On day 2 minimum is 1. So 5 and 1, 6. Day 3 has scored 5. So that is 11. Day 4 he has scored 7. So that is 18. And day 5 he would have minimum got 7 marks. That means 25. So the answer to this one is 25. Right, guys. So I have solved 3 questions. Now there are 2 if questions, and I know the 2 cases. I anyways know the 2 cases. If the total score of Bimal is a multiple of 3, what is the score of Akhil on day 2? That is one question. And the next is if Akhil attains a total score of 24, then what is the total score of Bimal? I'm sure that you can solve both the question. Let me solve the fourth one and show you. Fifth, you can then try or by yourself. If the total score of Bimal is multiple of 3, then what is the score of Akhil on day 2? So Bimal multiple of 3. Bimal I know has already scored 5 plus 5 plus 7, 17 marks. So Bimal has scored 17 marks on 3 days. Either he could score 24, so that is not possible. That is not possible, or he can score 27. Okay, so to score 27 means he would have scored 1 here and 8 here. So his score would have been 5, 1, 5, 7, 8. That means 5 plus 1, 6, 6 plus 5, 11, 11 plus 7, 11 plus 7 is 18, 18 plus 8 is 20. No. This is not coming as a multiple of 3. So let me again look at it. What was multiple of 3? To be multiple of 3, either he would have scored 24 or 27. What are his 3 days confirmed marks? His 3 days confirmed marks are 5 plus 5, 10 plus 7, 17. So to go to 24, he needs 17, say 27 is possible. Yeah, so 27 can come only if he score 8 and 2. Yeah. So if Bimal scores 2 on day 2, Akhil will score 4 on day 2. And Bimal scores 8 on day 5, Akhil scores 4. So what was the question? Let me see. What is the score of Akhil on day 2? Akhil ka score on day 2 is 4. So that's right. Akhil ka score on day 2 is 4. So option number 3. If Akhil attains a total of 24, then what is the total score of Bimal? This is very easy. I don't have to go to the table also. Why? Because I know there are total 80 marks, out of which Chatur has got 30 and 24 is the Akhil ka marks. So this will come as 26. Question number 5 would have been easily solved. I think it would have been the first question to be solved. Why I'm saying it would have been the first question to be solved? Because we already knew just when we draw the table first, we were aware that 80 is the total marks. We were aware that Chatur has got 30 marks. And fifth question asked me if Akhil attains 24. If Akhil attains 24, then what is Bimal's mark? So question number 5 was the first question to be attempted. What is Akhil's score on day 1? And question number 5. These two would have been solved in less than 5 minutes time. That was the decision time for you whether you wanted to continue with this set or say Tata bye bye. Right? So yeah. So that's it from my side, guys. I hope that you learned few things. And I will be coming up with more such videos, not only on DILR, but also on verbal and quant. So yeah, hope to see you. Bye.